Welcome to Mogul Mentality, the podcast where we explore the intersection of mindset and business. Join us as we delve into the minds of successful entrepreneurs, thought leaders, uncovering the habits, strategies, and mindsets that have allowed them to achieve greatness. Whether you're a seasoned business owner or just starting out, our conversations will inspire you to think big, take action, and cultivate the mindset of a mogul. So sit back, relax, and get ready to elevate your thinking with Mogul Mentality.
Welcome back to another week of Mogul Mentality. This is Devin and Jesse, and this week I'm excited to get started and discussing after this long holiday break. We get back with the energy and being aware of the energy that we are putting off and the energy resilience in our business and our personal life. And so I'm looking forward to this episode. Jesse, how's your energy this morning, my man?
Dude, I got that big energy, I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
I'm so excited. You brought up this topic, and I think that it's one of those things that is very undervalued in business, is just understanding where you're at on the emotional curve, and all that energy. Because, like, you were sharing an example before, when something doesn't go your way, like let's say a deal goes south, you're feeling that, right? Oh, I should have done this better. And you're trying to sort through it. You're also recognizing that things aren't going the exact way that you wanted. And so your energy's flat.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you quickly bounce back from that and brush that off so that you're maintaining a high energy? Because some of these things can go a long freaking time, right? I don't know. Have you seen the show Billions?
No, but sounds like I should.
Okay, so long story short, it's a big stock trading company, right?
Okay.
And one of the guys walks in and he's like, "Oh man, I made $17 billion for this company and now I'm down 1.4 million this year." And he's talking to this therapist that they have on site and she's like, "But you did 17 billion last year. Like, it's in you. That dog is in you. But
Yeah.
right now you're in this funk and every decision you're making, you're second guessing and it's causing you a lot of emotional stress. And now we need to go back to the mindset and reframe that you're a $17 billion producer." So long story short, she pumps him up. He goes out, he closes a big deal, boom, right? And I think that sometimes we need that. And I'm hoping that we can bring that heat to the show today to remind people of what they truly are and to stop second guessing and allow the energy that's inside them to flow and stop cutting off the flow of that. So I'm excited. This is a good episode. I'm already pumped about talking about it today.
Yeah, man. No, I'm good. I'm grateful to have your big energy too. So yeah, it'll be good. I'm sitting here pondering and thinking, and it's like, holy smokes, like how often do we have like all of this momentum, all of this good energy, and then just the thought or a phone call of one bad thing or one, not even necessarily bad thing, but like one thing that's like maybe killing a deal or starting over or delaying things. And it's like we let that one little thing, like you talk about, like this $17 billion dude is letting a little negative thing hold him back. And it's like, how often do we let that continue to domino, like that snowball to just keep going in the negative, like in the opposite direction? And sometimes it just takes like one person, you surround yourself with that one person that's like, dude, this is what you're capable of. This is what you've done. Like, focus on, the positives here. I'm sitting here thinking that book, The Gap in the Gain. Like, are you thinking about, holy smokes, look how far I've come, look what I've done? Or are you focusing on like, oh, like this little thing that might be delaying things or causing, a small hiccup or whatever? And it's like, are you letting that negative energy take over and consume all of that positive and all of that growth that you've made, for how long? And just focusing on that one little freaking thing that's causing a delay or a hiccup, and that's consuming you to the point where now that's all you can even fathom in day to day.
If you're listening to this show, it's because you're a successful business owner or you're striving to become more successful. But guess what? Anytime you've experienced new success, it has brought new challenges. It's time for a change. Check out the Business Liberation System. It's the key to regaining focus and working on your business, not just in it. You see, as you experience more and more success, that success is bringing new things into your business that's taking away from your concentration, and it's costing you money. You're slowly going from CEO back to an employee, and don't let that catch you. It's time for you to recognize these things and get back on the track of becoming the CEO of your business so that you can work on it. Go to theemergecoaching.com and get on the fast track by joining the Business Liberation System. To get there even faster, click on the show notes and it will take you right to where you need to be. Success should bring freedom, not frustration. Let's get back to the episode. Yeah, dude. I am looking at all this, and I am a Dr. Seuss rhyming type of guy. And at looking at it, it goes, the thing I came up with is energy drains and energy gains.
Mm.
And
Yep.
understanding those two things, right? Understanding that, are the things and the actions that I'm doing draining my energy, or are they adding on to the energy that I have? And so talking about the how, right? Like, as we're speaking right now on my phone, I have a client that says, we're no longer moving forward with the purchase. We can't afford this house. Okay.
Mm.
I could look at this and be stressed out and be frustrated. However, my entire day has been set up for success. I got up, I played my basketball, I've taken my vitamins, I've gotten my turmeric shot, I've gotten my blueberries, my strawberries, everything that I have put together on my list, so that when something like this happens, it's like I've had all these micro wins already for my health, bigger picture. A deal's going to come and go. Like, and it's not very frustrating to lose out on it, because at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, like, I'm gaining on my energy and more micro wins throughout my day than just one loss, right? It also helps that I'm going on a vacation, right? So
Mm.
having
Yeah.
that idea of, like, while you're listening to the show, I will be on vacation next week. Like, that's just how it is. So I'm adding all of this positive energy around me. So when something that happens like that, it's like, I'm not too sad about it. I'm not going to be frustrated or upset. I'm just going to continue to move on.
Yeah. Again, like, I love that. Like, because I'm sitting here thinking, holy smokes, do you look at it as it being an issue, or is it an opportunity? Like, reframe, is it actually a problem? Or is it just an opportunity to go a different route, learn something new, and find a new solution? Like, for me, I've got these people, good friends of mine, that have been looking for a place forever, and finally got him pre-qualified. And he's like, yeah, here's what we can do. And it's like, okay, you don't want a townhome. So that's basically what you're pre-qualified for, is basically a townhome or a very, very entry level place, which is fine, totally fine. But this deal comes along and I'm like, holy smokes, this is like exactly what they're looking for. This will give us, you and I, our business, probably a decent chunk of money pretty easily, pretty quickly. And I'm like, it fits under his budget. It needs this place needs some work, but it's going to be a win-win-win for all of us. And rather than focusing on, okay, like, I could have focused on, oh, like, good luck trying to find something that fits that. But instead, you just stay open-minded, you keep that mindset, and within literally like a couple of days, something falls in our lap, and it's going to be probably, a perfect opportunity and an easy deal for us. But I think, again, is it the way that we perceive things, the way we look at things? And, do we get so caught up on, oh, this is impossible, rather like, okay, how can we find a solution, or who can I talk to? One of my favorite things that Robert Kiyosaki has ever said is, he talks about in Rich Dad Poor Dad. He says, oh, I can't afford this. and that used to just be the mentality of his poor dad. I can't afford this. I can't afford this. His rich dad taught him how can I afford this? All
Mhm.
just changing your words and rephrasing it and looking at it from a different perspective changed everything for him. And it's like, yeah, Robert Kiyosaki's incredibly successful, well-to-do, like just very successful. But I think just changing your words and changing how your perspective on things will absolutely change
Totally.
how your outcome ultimately.
Yeah. And I think that sometimes we feel drained because we're not getting the things that we want personally,
Mm,
right? Like the days that I don't go to the gym, I don't eat healthy, and all of a sudden a client has a problem, those are the days when I feel the most just frustrated and lack of, let's say, resilience, right? There's just no resilience there. It's like, I'm defeated. I just need to go to bed, right? And I've said that before, but looking at it and saying, okay, what is it that I truly want? And designing my day around the things that I feel like I need in order to thrive, right? Once that's done and getting those micro wins off the table, then it becomes very easy to continue to gain on that energy. And I'll be very, very honest here. Like, this was a really cool experience for me. Um, I shared a little bit about the Porsche, right? The green Porsche that I'm super
black
excited
green
about,
stitches and everything, baby.
everything. And I'm looking at it going, crap, dude. Like, I can't afford it right now. And I was, I told Amber, I'm like, I can't help but like laugh and be so grateful for this opportunity as opposed to cry. Because,
Mm,
yeah, I'm not going to get my car right now, but I'm laughing at the blatantly obvious thing that was right in front of me. Like, I manifested my car. That was easy.
yeah.
However, I didn't put the plan in place to actually go get it. Right? And so it's great. I can manifest a Rolex, but what's my plan to buy the Rolex when it comes? Do I have the deposit? Do I have those things? And so, anyways, moving forward with that, getting very specific. Okay, I want this car, but now what do I specifically want? I want to be able to afford it. I want my payment to be around here. What do I need to do now, working backwards from that to get that result? And then what do I need to do to break it down so easy every single day that it's just a quick 5-minute task? Oh, put $5 into the account. Done. I can do that every day, right? Super easy. And over time, that continues to add up. And before I know it, the car's here because I've manifested it. I've put it out in the reality that I want it. It's here. I have the down payment and the payment where I need it to be. And it becomes a 3-minute sign the DocuSigns and have my car coming the next day. Right. And so I think that working towards those things, understanding truly what it is you want, and then setting the goals in place and making sure that all other aspects of your life come and go, that builds the energy. And from that, and this is the point where I was getting to, is after recognizing the whole situation, I sat down and designed a budget and said, okay, I'm not a big fan of the word budget. It's kind of a negative, restricting word for me. And so I'm like, all right, we're going to create a system, a financial system so that we get all the things we want. Ideally, I'd love to have someone shovel my walks. I hate the snow. I'd love to have someone mow my lawn consistently. Love to have someone wash my clothes and clean my house. And honestly, I'd love to have someone at some point cooking food for me that's within my macro plan.
Yep.
That's what I want. That's what would make me thrive. So then I sit down and say, okay, what would that cost each month in theory? And I start putting together this plan. And I go, there's no way I'm not that close. Like, I'm not making $15,000 consistently a month that I'm paying me. My business is sure, but the business has operating expenses and all this other stuff. So, how do I get to $15,000 a month for me personally to spend freely? And I realized that what I need to do is start breaking it down into small percentages, right? Divide 15,000 by each one of these little budgets and at least start following a system now. So maybe I write myself a check for $5,000 this month. Okay, it all goes and allocates into these separate deposits and it starts to grow, right?
Mm,
Okay, long story short, as I've gone through this and put the percentages, the day that I actually hit submit and commit to doing this and start working my accounts, the very next day, I get a phone call from you. It's like, "Hey, man, guess what? We got this deal." Well, guess what's now going to be deposited into the account once it's all said and done? $15,000. It's like, whoa. I just got so specific and so aligned that I've never written myself a check for $15,000 2 months in a row. And
Mm.
here we are now 2 months in a row of a check that we'll be able to write ourselves based off our financial model.
Yeah.
And it makes me so excited going, okay, here we go. All I had to do is get more specific. And that money now goes into these accounts that I can now call and have someone shovel my walks this month. And I can now have someone come clean my house, and it's all budgeted and ready to go, which then makes me feel so much better about losing a deal like this, just barely
Mhm.
on this call. Not a
Yeah.
big deal to me because everything else is aligned and I'm getting what I want.
I love it. That's why you and I get along so well. We vibe so well because it's like I'm literally putting like together a list. I'm updating a list of 20 things that I want,
Yeah.
and the first few were financial and some other things. Literally, the last thing I wrote down is I want someone to a part-time nanny, cook, and someone to help with yard work.
You need it too.
Right, right.
That
And
nice
so
house
it's
of
like,
yours. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And so I'm like, okay, like what do I need to do? And again, are we putting systems and procedures and processes in place? Are we automating things in a way that we're structuring ourselves and setting ourselves up for success,
Mhm.
to build more energy, create more energy? Or again, getting back to our topic is energy, or are we grinding every single month, or just trying to get along and push and push and push and like sucking that energy, and just where you create that burnout oftentimes is, are you setting yourself up for success or for failure with the energy and the things that you're doing? And
Yep.
so again, like with your goals, like, are your goals creating more energy because it excites you, or are you just like in survival mode where you know it's okay, I hope I have enough energy, or it's 5 o'clock, I'm just gonna freaking go home, grab a bite to eat, and just go sit on the couch the rest of the night because I'm baked.
Mhm.
It's again like just being so intentional with the things that you do and with the people you surround yourself with, and creating that good positive energy, and not letting one little thing just suck and take away from maybe all of that momentum that you've built up.
Yeah, totally. I love that. I My mind's kinda going to the conscious unconscious, right? A little bit. We have our unconscious mind that's just automated, and we have our conscious mind that's the thinker, right? And so what I've been asking myself this week, and I know like we're 2 or 3 days into the week, but this is something that came to my mind on Sunday. It's now Wednesday, time of recording this particular show, but the thought came to my mind of how do I make unconscious habits benefit me and add more energy, right? Like if energy does gain, how do I take these unconscious habits so that's consistently gaining energy for me as opposed to certain unconscious habits that I have right now that might be draining? And like in my words, like I've over the last 18 months really been focusing on my words and developing like a positive mental attitude, right? If you're a Bad Brains fan, the PMA. Like if you're not, that's okay. It's a song. Anyways, but I've been working on that. But now it's like, okay, how do I say what I want? Let's analyze this. Porsche GT3 RS, lime green, all the great stuff, $250,000. Okay, I'm gonna work backwards from it now. And every single day I'm gonna have micro tasks that get me closer to that Porsche. How do I automate it so that it just becomes unconscious? Just like taking a vitamin or just like using the restroom. That it's so easy after, 2, 3 weeks of training the unconscious. This is how we're gonna do it. This is the system that it's done for me. So in 6 months, a year, I look at the account and everything's there and the car is in my lap, right? It's just easy. And that's been my focus is how am I gonna make this so easy? These small tasks, like let's say $10,000,000, dissect it all the way back to how much money per month down to the minute. What do I need to be doing every single minute in order to make that happen? And then how do I train it so that it is the path of least resistance for me to do these things over and over and over every single day? And as I do that and learn how to get the path of least resistance towards that micro goal, I know, rest assured, $10,000,000 will eventually happen because I've mastered it and it's become easy. And that's been my focus lately is how do I just say what I want and get it and then just start like chunking down at the micro aspects every single day. And it's been amazing, right? Like I shared with you, all I had to do is get aligned. Here's what I want with my money. Here's the budget, this money, boom. All of a sudden, a week later, exactly what I wanted for the month is now happened. That's amazing. That's a miracle, right? For those that believe in them.
Yeah.
But it was specific intention, getting very straight of what I was asking for and the why behind it. Why am I asking for it? Because I want all this other stuff. And then also setting a game plan, making a commitment with myself. And at that point, you apply the level of faith. It's going to happen if I continue to follow it. Whether it's $15,000 this month or not, doesn't really matter because I have the percentages and I'm going to add the money into these percentages. And over time, it grows. And that's what's way freaking amazing, right? And so I've now automated and printed money in certain budgets that I want it to go to. So now I don't even ask questions. It's like, oh, each month there should be $400 in here for a cleaner. Cleaner, come clean. You have $400 budget. Clean my house. And I don't even think about it.
Yeah.
And then in the meantime, because I have that energy and I'm hiring someone, in theory, they're going to receive referrals from me building their business. And at the end of the day, I might become their top referring client and they start referring me business, which then makes me more money on a $400 investment. It happens a lot.
Yeah.
Paid a guy to clean my car. He called me up. Hey, I need your real estate team to help me buy a house. Oh, and by the way, can you do our loan too? Sure. Right? $300, well spent. I got my car cleaned and I got more business because I shared that energy with someone else.
Yeah. Yeah. Just having that abundance mentality. And a quick plug, like what listening to you, all I can think of is just James Clear's book, Atomic Habits. Like there's so much power in that. You're like, yeah, just the stepping stones, this, taking the stairs, building one habit at a time just creates that staircase and helps you level up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
Uh,
It makes me like giddy and excited. Right.
yeah, and the energy that comes from it, right? Like it keeps you motivated. It keeps that energy high, and it just, it that energy produces more outcome and more performance and more like just yeah, it keeps going. So
It's so much easier having a map of where you're headed and then also just tasks every single day. Like right now, my CRM pops up. Oh, you have 8 tasks a day. I'm like, great. I have 8 tasks that are going to make me my $10 million.
mm,
Dude, if I could guarantee that you'd make $10 million on 8 small tasks, you'd do it in a heartbeat.
totally.
Right. So same thing, design your business that way, where it's like, here's what I want. Here's what I believe I need to do in order to make that happen. Here's my 8 tasks for the day. And this is consistently every single day. There's tasks and that's going to grow. Right. But as those tasks grow, then I know exactly where I need. Hey, I need someone specifically to write birthday cards. I'm going to pay someone part time to write birthday cards, $10 an hour. Cool. Or my favorite is I'm going to create all the different languages and copy everything that I'm saying and put it into Chat GPT. And then when I write a letter to someone, I can have an employee type in the letter, who it's addressed to, and based off of everything that I would say, create a letter that's heartfelt and impactful. And all I need to do is click print, right? And it's easy. Instead of now sitting there writing, trying to think about what I'm saying, I've recorded everything I've said. So I've made it easier and more automated. So I can send out 30, 40 letters a day, no problem, knowing that it's going to be authentic and genuine to me because it's all my files, everything I've ever said.
Mm,
Beautiful.
yeah.
So then, we have 100 tasks on the CRM for the day. It's like 100 letters, boom, easy. It'll take me 2 hours max. And most of those letters will be printing. Right. So, or most of that time. So some things to consider there.
Yeah.
It's beautiful, right? Just looking back and saying, here's the goal, chunking back to daily tasks, and then asking yourself on these tasks, how can I even make those easier? Right? Like taking a vitamin. And then, like you said, Atomic Habits, James Clear. Yeah, I read that book. It's awesome, right? Start taking the stairs step by step and build your staircase. And then once you get to that, you guarantee have a place and you're not relying on anything else because you built a staircase to get there. Maybe it's easier to take the elevator sometimes, sure. But you have a guaranteed system to get you where you need to go.
Yeah. The other thing too that you and I have discussed in the past is making sure that you reward yourself as well along the way. Like if you set this goal and it's like, hey, from 0 to 10 million, it's going to be, it's going to be difficult along the way. You're going to have some challenges, but if you find ways to reward yourself and to keep that motivation and to keep that energy, like it's just going to keep, again, building, compounding. And so, yeah, finding ways to reward yourself, like Jesse and I like to do, is every time we close a deal, it's a new pair of shoes, or it's, sunglasses, watch, polos, whatever. Like we found ways to reward ourselves, to, give ourselves that pat on the back and keep that momentum going. So it's like, okay, like I want more of this. So that helps us bring more deals in and keep that positive energy and flow going.
Yes, 100%. Dude, this was a fun episode. Thanks for bringing up this topic.
Yeah, no, it was good. I'm glad listening to that book this morning at the gym was totally helpful. So I think it was good for all of us.
Dude, you want a weird book?
What's that?
48 Laws of Power.
Never heard of that one.
It's free on Amazon right now, and I'm trying to wrap my mind around it. Great leadership book, but you need to be mentally prepared and ready for like the twists and turns, because it's also heavily into manipulation. It's all based off of like history and events that have happened, and they've created essentially 48 principles of how to be a power person or a leader. And it's a weird one. I don't know if I like it. I'm like 3 chapters in, and I'm just like, oh, this like really pulls all of the
out a little bit.
Yeah, it just like kings manipulating other kings to get what they want, to take over civilizations, like a lot of manipulation. And like one of the laws is like, don't share your true intention. Just share what everyone thinks your intention should be, so that they love you. So it's like really deep, like manipulation garbage. But then also it's like, this is, if it's challenging me neurologically like that, I want to read it and I want to be invested in it to truly learn and say, like, why do I feel this way? What principles? And then, of course, assess and address from there. But
yeah,
it's a weird one. It's a mind
bender. You said 48 Laws of Power?
48 Laws of Power. It's available right now. I picked it up for free on Amazon, through Audible. So yeah, it's a weird one. Definitely not like Atomic Habits that makes you feel great. It's kind of like, whoa, this is a bender. So
yeah, see how it aligns with your morals and ethics and stuff too.
Oh, yeah, and then it kind of leaves you in this like, do I trust this person now?
Right.
So if you don't trust people, don't read it. Yeah. Anyways, awesome. Well, thanks so much for listening to this show. Devin and I really appreciate it. And of course, we'd love to hear from you. Leave us a review. Let us know if there's anything that you'd like us to specifically talk about. If you need help in your business, we'd love to do that as well. And I've done that from time to time, but we just want to say thanks so much for listening and hope you all have a fantastic day.
Thank you for listening to the Mogul Mentality Podcast. We hope you found today's episode helpful and inspiring. If you enjoyed the show, please consider sharing it with your friends and leaving us a review on your favorite podcast platform. Your support helps us to reach more listeners and create more content that can help you on your journey to becoming a successful entrepreneur. We appreciate your feedback and suggestions for future topics, so don't hesitate to reach out to us on social media or via email. Remember, developing a mogul mentality takes hard work and dedication, but with the right mindset and strategies, anything is possible. So keep grinding, stay focused, and we'll see you on the next episode.